Annie's crew, are you listening? We cannot allow our seeds to lie dormant in us. Check your surroundings.
It's time to exhale and be motivated. And it's Blue Couch. Yeah.
Hello, everyone, to all of you, Annie's crew. Welcome back to the Annie's Blue Couch. I am so thankful that all of you continue to take the time to sit down with me every week. Before we get into today's conversation, I want to remind you to like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and as always, do me a huge favor and share this video with at least 2 of your friends. All right, let's get to it. We've been talking a lot about purpose. And actually, when I started talking about purpose, I didn't think I had so much to say. But this has turned into part 3 of the Purpose series. If you've missed any of the videos before, check down below for those links so you can get caught up. I hope that by now you are starting to really get your purpose into focus and you're beginning to embrace all of who you are. Last time we talked a lot about fear and how debilitating it can be. I hope you have been pinpointing everything that you're afraid of and being intentional about pushing past those fears. Don't be afraid to dive into your purpose. I know it will take some adjusting, but one of the goals for Annie's crew is to no longer waste time on fear. So I want to share an experience I had with my youngest daughter, my 6-year-old. I was sitting with her as she went through some of her distance learning work for science. She was learning about plants and the process a plant goes through, from the seed to actually becoming something substantial. I know we all probably learned these things when we were her age, but something about reviewing this spectacular process in this season of my life brought about an excitement in me that I felt I needed to share with Annie's crew. So I grabbed my pen and began to take notes. Each one of us has been given a gift, or parallel it to my 6-year-old science lesson, a seed. This gift or seed has been planted inside of us, and it's up to us to make it grow. Now, the first thing her teacher taught was that seeds come in all different shapes and sizes. I heard that and thought, so do people. We are all different. No one is better than the other. We should never allow ourselves to believe that our gift is any more or less important than someone else's. All of our gifts are simply different. I know I say this often, but I have to say it again right here. Every single detail about you is so special and completely necessary in the process of embracing your purpose. Now, whenever I say that, I never mean that you cannot make improvements or grow in certain areas. I just want you to not look at your weaknesses as some sort of sign that you're not good enough. Weakness serves 2 main purposes. The first is to remind you of your humanity, meaning you are not an angelic being of perfection. Weaknesses humbles us and makes us relatable. If you're waiting to be perfect to accept your purpose, you never, ever will. And the second purpose your weaknesses serve is to highlight the need for others. The fact that all of our gifts are different lets us know that we are all part of a huge puzzle. Every single piece we each represent matters to this puzzle. For example, I'm really good at writing songs, but I have no idea or very little idea as to how to make the instrumentation for it. I have 2 choices. I can sit down and cry over the fact that I can't make music, or I can get up and partner with someone who is great at making music. This collaboration, this partnership, brings about a masterpiece that I'm proud to share with the world. So acknowledge your weaknesses, but please don't harp on them. My weakness makes your strength necessary, and your weakness makes my strength necessary. Okay, back to sharing my experience with my 6-year-old. I talked about comparison in my first video. The only person you should be comparing yourself to today is to yourself yesterday. So this next point got me excited. Her teacher said that different seeds need different temperatures, different amounts of light, and different amounts of water, and that the wrong combinations can be deadly or stunt their growth, causing them to not become the plants or trees they were meant to be. Man, did a light bulb go off on that one. If you are giving yourself what you see the next person giving themselves, you could actually be killing your seed. Stop forcing your seed to grow in the conditions it was not meant to grow in. It's our responsibility to water our gifts. We have to feed our gifts with information so that we can become excellently skilled in our particular gifting. Then we have to give the right amount of light or exposure to the right people and places. And finally, provide the right amount of heat or pressure to squeeze out those things like self-doubt and fear. My daughter's teacher went on to give a lot of details about what happens between the seed being planted and the seed growing. I want to highlight one extremely critical detail. This part of the process really opened my eyes to understanding and appreciating growing into my purpose. She said, the first thing that comes out of a seed is the root, and it always grows downward. She said that deep roots help keep plants from falling over or blowing away in the wind. This is huge. We all love, or at least can appreciate, the beauty of the end result of a fully grown seed. Whether it's a dwarf willow, a rose, a palm tree, or a giant sequoia. But before all that beauty, there's got to be a root. And the thing about roots, no one sees them. They are embedded deeply in the soil, hidden from applause, hidden from accolades, hidden from public recognition, hidden even from basic acknowledgement. No one walks up to a beautiful flower and says, wow, those roots are amazing. No one even's thinking of the roots when they're looking at a beautiful flower or a tree. But the strength of the root determines the strength of the tree. If the root isn't deep enough, secured tightly enough, and stabilized enough, way down, that tree will fall over at the first sign of wind. If you are ready to quit after the first no, then you got to get those roots deeper. If you feel like abandoning your purpose at the first sign of a roadblock, you've got to get your roots deeper. And the deeper you go, the darker it gets. There are no bright lights where the root is, no crowds, no noise, though the silence can be deafening. I want to encourage you to appreciate the dark moments and learn how to give yourself a pep talk. Dark moments don't have to be discouraging. As a matter of fact, when you understand the process of deepening and strengthening your roots, you understand that dark places are necessary. Dark places don't have to be scary places. You should not be trying to avoid them. Don't allow yourself to become bitter, angry, or worse, quit because of a dark place. Every time you find yourself in a lonely place or a place where there seems to be no praise being doled out, you've got to realize, accept, and embrace the downward growth that is taking place. Learn what you have to learn in those moments. Don't try to get out prematurely, because the key to standing once you do get out is the amount of development you allowed yourself to undergo while you were underground. As soon as your root gets deep enough something else bursts out of the seed. My daughter's teacher called that the shoot. And it grows in the opposite direction towards the light. That really encourages me not to try to get out of the dark places before my time. There will be a season of displaying beauty above ground, in the spotlight. Believe in yourself. Don't give up on your seed. Don't give up on your gift. Don't give up on your purpose. Annie's crew, you have so much greatness inside of you. So much potential is bottled up inside of you. And we've all got to be able to embrace the process of going down before we come up. And when you come up, when that shoot breaks ground and hits the light, you can now grow to your maximum potential. Do you know what's the sign of an adult plant? I didn't know before getting involved in my daughter's science lesson, but when I found out, I was blown away. The true sign of an adult plant is when it begins to produce seeds of its own. We are growing when we are creating and building and pouring into others. As you grow and learn and develop, don't keep the gems you gather a secret or hold them hostage because you're afraid if you share them, someone else will grow. Share them. Help someone else maximize their potential. We are in this together. We need each other. I am so happy I took the time to listen to my daughter's teacher. I learned so much about myself, and I realized that right there in nature is the perfect example for us to follow in developing into who we were born to be. Here's a fun fact about seeds. The seed coat, or the outer shell, covers the entire seed, protects it, and can sense good and bad conditions. It literally gets messages from the space it's in and tells the seed whether or not it's safe to grow. A seed can live dormant or inactive for 1,000 years due to bad conditions. Annie's crew, are you listening? We cannot allow our seeds to lie dormant in us. Check your surroundings. Literally, check your surroundings. Who's in your circle? Who's in your corner? What's playing in your ears? What's influencing you? What's in your surroundings? Check that and get to where you can grow. Until next time, remember, you are beautiful. You are special. Your smile is amazing. And don't let anyone or anything ever make you feel less than who and what God has designed you to be. Annie's crew, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Bye for now.
Annie's Blue Couch.